What is up, everybody? I haven't done a video on schedule here because just been working on a bunch of different things and none of it's a complete video. So I've bought and sold a lot of equipment here in the last couple weeks. The Cat Challenger, I sold that, went to Kansas. I made good money on that one. I sold my Kinze grain cart that was 3 years old. I'm just going to keep my the Unverferth 1,000 bushel cart. Just have one. The Kinze, believe it or not, this shows how much inflation has done to the price of new stuff. But I owned it 3 years and I sold it on auction time for $200 less than I paid for it. Ran it for 3 years. That's not bad. But I've also made some purchases. Yeah. I'll show you here in a second. I bought a combine, sight unseen, on auction time. The price was right. Yes, I have a 7230 flagship combine, but why not buy another combine, right? I know every nut and bolt on a 2388. I've worked on about 10 billion of them. Saw this one on auction time. It was about an hour or so away. Did not get a chance to go look at it other than just seeing pictures. Bought it. I went yesterday and looked at it and paid for it. It has all of the regular 2388 issues because has not been, like rebuilt, and that's okay. I kind of bought it figuring on having to fix all this stuff, but it's got 2,500 separator hours on it, which that's not bad at all. This is I believe the last year of the 2388s. I think it's 06. So it's got the side rotary air screen, which is way better than the one that faces out the back, and it's got the common rail fuel system on it. Field tracker, hydraulic reverser, you name it. I don't need this for this fall. This is going to be a winter project. I'll do a bunch of videos on this. Everything from inspecting, showing everything that's wrong with it, to doing videos of rebuilding it. But it is filthy. It doesn't look that bad from here, but it is completely filthy. And I don't want to put it in the shed like that. So Jack's gonna power wash it, and then we'll probably buff it. But she's just a greasy, dirty pig, and I can't stand looking at dirty stuff. So it just showed up yesterday. I went and paid for it. I lined up a lowboy to haul it, and it showed up here this morning. So I was thinking about driving it. It would have been a long drive, but I'll show you one of the issues. You guys happen to see the main hydraulic pump right there? That ear's cracked off of it. I don't think I would have trusted a 3-hour drive home with it hanging on by a thread there. So this is one of the purchases. I'm not going to explain what's going on here or what my idea or plan is with this. We'll just talk about that some other time. Well, Jack has been washing up in the engine compartment for a couple hours. This friggin' thing is It's dirty. Having fun? Yeah, that's what I thought. So Jack washed on this thing for a day and a half. It's still, I needed to take a couple more shields off, I realized after he got done, but it still needs some more washing. But it looks 100% better than it did. This thing was just a, I don't know if I've ever seen one this filthy. But, so what I'm gonna do next on this is I'm gonna use a couple cans of this. Oh, let's climb up here. Yeah. See all the bean dust and crap and dirt? That's what the whole combine looked like. And the flies are horrible now after everything got washed. But I didn't have them wash any of this with the pressure washer. That radiator's pretty well packed. My God, these flies. I freaking hate flies. So I'll hose all this down. That cooler cleaner, it helps loosen all that stuff up, and then just keep hosing it with a garden hose. But I mean, this thing is dirty, or it was. But once I finish hosing out the rest of what needs to be hosed out, I will get it in the shop later this week. I'll loosen all the belts up. I'll walk you around and show you the inspection on one of these. Everything wrong with it I figured out like in the farmer's yard in about 5 minutes, the majority of it. But the farmer was a super nice guy. I bought this thing on auction time. Auction time is you get what you get, and he was honest whenever he told me, you know, that it needed some work and whatnot. And I am by no means picking on the owner of this combine whenever I show all the things that are wrong or worn out, because he knew, you know, what it was going to take to rebuild it, and he chose to get a different combine and put this one on auction time, and I scooped it up for a very good price because I can do all the labor. And yeah, so once I'm finished cleaning it, I'll get it in the shop. We'll walk around it, make a list, and then I think Jack this coming weekend is going to buff it. We'll make this thing look like freaking brand new again. All right, got the combine in the shop. I'm just about done inspecting it. Jack started buffing it. Look at the difference. My God, this is a new product that my Case IH dealer, the service manager, got me onto. They buff all the combines with it. It's a one-step. It's like a correction compound, and it's got polymers in it, so it's like a paint sealer. He said it lasts for a couple of years.
You want to see it?
Yeah. That's what it is. So far, I'm pretty happy with how it's working. Jack, do you think it works pretty good
Yeah, looks nice.
compared to the normal two-step process?
Yeah.
Jack's gonna get her all buffed up, and he'll clean the cab because it is filthy in there, and it smells like a combination of mothballs and stale cigarette smoke. So we'll clean that all out, and I've got one of those ozone machines. Put it in there and let it run to try to get the smell out of it. But this thing is gonna look like a completely different machine. All right, Jack got it all buffed. He did an amazing job. I guarantee this thing has not looked like this in a very long time. I don't know if it's been washed in a very long time, but he's got it all buffed. He's got the interior all cleaned out. I'm pretty proud of Jack because ever since he graduated high school this last spring, he's been working full-time, 5 days a week for a construction company, framing houses and roofing, and this summer has been brutally hot. Like it's like a real feel of 100 today. And he's been working all week, every week, and then on the weekends. Last weekend he spent 2 days washing this. This weekend he spent 2 days buffing it to make extra money. So that I respect. Makes me proud. All right, so there's a million things wrong with this combine. And instead of showing you how I inspect these, I'm just gonna grab my list and show you all the main things that are wrong. But I anticipated all of this. Some of it's a little extreme, but it's all within the realm of what I figured it would need for the price I paid for it. It'd still be good. So grab my list here. All right, let's just start right here. Concaves. Scrap iron. Scrap iron. Kind of okay. This is the filler plate that the concaves bolt to. They wear out up in the front. I'm not sure why you would take the time to take this out and weld a plate there, but the plate's already worn out. So that's junk. Some of the rasp bars are good. They've been changed, but then like some of the lugs on the rotor here, like see that bolt head? It's like completely gone. Those are junk. This is something special here. So the transition cone is this piece that goes all the way up front to the feeder house. I figured for sure it would be worn out, but I've never seen somebody weld it into the combine. If I turn the light off, maybe you'll be able to see daylight through there. See the daylight through there? It's cracked all the way around. I can see through it. This is dumb. I'm sorry. I get saving money, but that's called FTNG. Fuck the next guy, because now I'm gonna have to cut all that weld to separate this from this to replace the transition cone. So the rotor will come out, the feeder house will come off, rock trap will come off. Then I'll put a new cone in. While the rotor's out, I will rebuild the rotor. Everything else in here was okay. Fan bearings I think have been changed. They look like there's been wrench marks on the bolts. Bearings sounded good. they replaced the front shaker bushings and the shoe bushings. I always put them in pretty much as a set, but to each their own. They did not change the back ones, and they're shot. It's hard to see. That rubber in there is cracked, and I don't know if the camera will pick this up. So this is a bolt that goes all the way through the shaker rail. There's a bushing here and a bushing here, and they're both shot. This bolt isn't like in a straight line, like it's offset to the bushing because the bushings are bad. And what happens then is the shaker system starts vibrating and it starts breaking stuff. Kind of like right there, that weld is cracked all the way down on the top sieve. And I doubt you'll be able to see it, but where that bolt is, there's a bushing welded in there, and the weld is cracked all the way around that on the shaker rail here. So the sieve will have to come out. I'll have to fix the shaker rail. These chopper knives are completely friggin' worn out. They're like butter knives. You'll need all new chopper knives. A lot of these combines burned up because of in here where the spreader drive is. There's covers that come here and cover this up, and this packs in with bean dust if you don't clean it out. If you don't watch these bearings or check them regularly, see that bearing? It's smoked. What happens is this gets packed full of bean dust, and then one of these bearings gets hot, catches on fire. Well, that's like a 200-gallon plastic diesel tank right there. So when they light, they're gone. But that, and there's too much play in these gears. The gears are cut in, so it needs all new spreader bearings, new spreader gears. It's no big deal. People don't realize there's a Zerk because there's a cover over this spreader belt. So this gets bound up on there's a shaft that it pivots on, and then it breaks that shaft off. Well, they welded it back on. I'll get a new plate and shaft, and the bearing's no good in that. This machine has had a whole lot of welding. Come right now. Oh, up there, rotary air screen was packed completely full of crap. The rubber seal that goes around it is bad. The chopper bearings are good. So see this plate welded on the clean grain housing? That's common. They'll either get thin and crack, and that housing sucks to change, but I'm guessing on this one of the paddles on the chain probably came loose and started whopping against it and cracked it big time because they have it plated on this side and the other side, which that's fine. I'll leave that. Tailings paddle chain is shot. The clean grain paddle chain is shot. That clean grain auger is super thin. It needs to be changed. The trough underneath the clean grain, they wear out. Well, this one has all kinds of scrap iron screwed to it. I will change that whole trough and this bottom boot sorry. Crawling around on the floor here. Cleaning fan hub. There's a hub back here with bearings in it. I can't do it one-handed, but it needs to be rebuilt. This is your tailings elevator drive. It's just a miracle that this combine did not go up in flames with how much crap was on it and how many things are bad. But see that bearing? It's completely gone. So it needs it needs bearings and the sprocket on the inside, rebuild that boot. What else? I was trying to figure out what that gauge was out the window that's electric taped on there. That's an NHRA approved boost gauge. The line is taped all the way along the grain tank because they deleted the wastegate on the turbo. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't really see anything. Oh, there's a Zerk for here. That's this hose. There's a bolted on plate with a shaft. That's worn out. Feeder floor is smoked. Needs a new feeder floor. So in essence, the feeder house will come out. The rotor will come out. Then this is the piece I was showing you. This is transition cone that they welded in back there. This whole piece will get changed. I'll rebuild the whole feeder house when it's off. New feeder chain, rebuild the drum. The hydraulic pump is cracked on that ear. I'm going to take it off. I think I can get that welded at the welding shop because I'm pretty sure that there's like a hub on the end of that pump, like a boss that goes through that plate that is what centers it, and the bolts just kind of hold it up there. And I'm thinking what happened is they broke a bolt in the bracket and the other one must have come loose, and that's what cracked that. But I'm hoping that I can just get that welded. The unload augers are getting sharp. And like most of these, let me find it. Grain tank starts wearing through. Sorry. It's up there. There's like a piece of galvanized that they jammed in there where it wore through. So it's gonna need new unload augers and tubes. I'll probably change the sump piece, which is this bottom piece. It needs all, see how hot it is in here? I am just sweating my ass off. It needs the elbow up there, the tubes, the augers. I don't know if you'll be able to see, not real good, but the auger's kind of like, it's not straight, it's like drooping down. Right where that flange is where they'll kink when they get thin. I'm gonna climb up top here just a second. As far as the engine goes, exhaust manifold gasket's leaking. Engine oil cooler is leaking oil. Check out that serpentine belt. Yeah, if I had a bet up in there, I think that fan hub, I think the bearings are going out, so That's gonna have to be addressed. Man, I'm glad I didn't drive this son of a bitch 4 hours home. Would have made it about a mile. Up in the grain tank, your incline delivery auger, it's shot. The housing underneath it there, that's shot. See where they custom built some yellow sheet metal there on that clean grain upper boot? That's shot. That'll all get replaced. The unload augers are worn, but they're not completely shot. But you see those rivet heads in there? So when those things wear off, there's no longer anything holding this elbow to that flange, and the whole damn auger can fall off. But you see how they welded a plate right there? That's not cool either, because if it wore through there and you just put a plate on it, those rivet heads are all worn off on the inside. So that elbow needs to be changed. That tube right there needs to be changed. All of this needs to be changed. It's got a coolant leak somewhere. I don't know. I'll have to pressurize it. There was just so much crud on this thing. Yeah, here's the boost gauge line. Oh my god. The rotor torque sensing unit hub has been replaced because I'm sure that flew off. I haven't really seen any problems in there. The air conditioning, either at a pressure switch or the AC controller, is haywire because they just bypassed the automatic climate control and put a switch in the cab that turns the compressor on. I'll straighten that out, figure out what's going on there. But yeah, you see they I don't know if you guys can see anything. See that hose with the bolt in the end of it right there? They disabled the wastegate. Which, whatever, that's fine. I've done that many times too, but I don't know what all else. It's just gonna need a complete going through. But this poor old combine here is she's found a good new home. Her days of neglect are done. Yes, are probably wondering, well, Ryan, you have a 7230 flagship combine with auto steer and heated leather seat and 4-wheel drive. Why do you want this thing? Kind of like, why did you want that thing? Or why'd you want that Alice 4-wheel drive? Why are you running that old Steiger? Because I am tired of loans. And I really, really like the old stuff that runs good. But I'm not saying I'm going to keep this. I don't need this for this fall, so this is going to be a winter project. If you guys want to see videos of all these repairs this winter, I can rock your world with combine repair videos. But we'll see whether I pedal this thing when I fix it or keep it. So I'm really, really hot. I need something cold to drink. So I hope everybody has a good one. I got a really cool other purchase that I just brought home today. Stand by for that. See ya.